In unknown Grenada, Cummins and Chase aim for adaptability. With little prior intel and an unpredictable pitch history, neither side really knows what to expect, although the WI captain feels it will be a better batting surface than Barbados. Pat Cummins has urged his top order to adapt quicker to conditions in the second test but is enjoying the challenge of coming to venues without much, or any, prior information. This is Australia's first test series in the Caribbean for 10 years and the first time any of this squad have played in Grenada. The pitch looked as though it would be rather more benign than at Kensington Oval, but even there the talk at the toss was a surface that both sides thought would play reasonably well only for it to become a fast bowler's shootout, which finished in 3 days. Australia have kept things simple in selection with Stephen Smith's return at the expense of Josh Inglis the only change, but Cummins has prepared his batters to be ready to switch game plans should things play out differently than expected. Just being a little bit quicker to adapt. It got difficult at times, in Barbados, he said. That's a test for you. Even with the ball changes, each time you kind of got a new ball, that made it a little tricky period for the batters. So I think just being sharper, a lot of the conversations about keep the scoreboard taking over, make yourself hard to be bowled at. You don't 100% know what you're going to get coming up against players that we haven't played a lot against on a field that we've never played on before. It's about staying fairly open-minded. Our message is always, remember what makes you a good player, play to your strengths. But if the information takes you in a different direction, just make sure you're sharp and adapt. With the last test at the National Stadium played 3 years ago, out of 4 overall, plus the ground's previous first-class fixture being back in early 2023, there is precious little research available. I think it's fun coming when there's a few unknowns. You've kind of got to think on your feet and you're not quite sure how a game's going to play out, Cummins said. When you go to Australia, you kind of know how the conditions are going to be. I think that was something we did reasonably well in the first test. We thought it was going to be really flat, and it ended up being a pretty bowler-friendly wicket. You've got to try and find a way to score runs differently to how you think, and I like that part of it. Smith's return brings the middle order back to full strength after the trio of Travis Head, Bo Webster and Alex Carey hauled Australia out of trouble in Barbados. He is renowned as one of the great problem-solving batters and will add further insurance against a top order that remains uncertain as Sam Constas and Cameron Green work through their challenges. Runs all over the world, and whilst he's not played a game here, he seems to work out pretty quickly what needs to be done and where your scoring areas are, Cummins said of Smith. So, of course, having that knowledge is going to be helpful, particularly to the guys that haven't really played too many tests or first-class games. But it's not only the Australians who are short on knowledge about the ground. Even West Indies captain Roston has only played 2 games here in his entire career, an ODI against Ireland and a first-class match for Barbados back in 2015. Overall, West Indies will likely have 4 players who were part of the 2022 test against England. I'm not really accustomed to the facilities, but the pitch looks a good one, Chase said. It looks evenly grassed. It looks way better than the Barbados pitch, although I'm a Barbadian. One of the pre-tour expectations was that spinners could be key in this series, but they had a limited role in Barbados and West Indies were even considering not playing left-arm spinner Jomal Warrican in Grenada. Australia had come prepared to partner Nathan Lyon with Matt Cummins after their success in Sri Lanka, but the latter has remained on the bench. However, Cummins did not rule him out as an option in Jamaica for the last game even though it will be day-night test. It seems like Jamaica can spin a lot, Cummins said. I think even if it's a pink ball, kind of wait and see and stay pretty open-minded. Bo's a third quick as well. Until you kind of get eyes on the wicket, it's pretty hard to know. I think just every venue is a little bit different. I thought maybe 2 out of the 3 might spin a bit, but so far it looks like the first 2 won't. Meanwhile, Australia's selectors are likely to make a call after this test over whether to release Marnus Labuschagne from the squad now that Smith is back in action. There are options for him to potentially get a couple of games for Glamorgan or be added to the Australia A squad for the 4-day games against Sri Lanka A in Darwin. Australia would need to ensure they have sufficient batting cover for the final test at Sabina Park should he leave. It's probably a conversation between George, Bailey, Andrew McDonald, and Marnus over how he wants to best map out the next couple of months, Cummins said. Stay tuned for match updates, expert insights, and all the latest cricket news. Like, subscribe and comment your thoughts below.